What's good, everybody? It is your girl, Miss T Talk, and I'm here with Cito. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. Like Future said, man, life's good.
Life is good. It's good. Sensational.
Sensational.
Yeah.
Gratitude and abundance to all my blessings and the lessons on my way. That's it.
I love it. It's so funny because I really want to go through the backstory of how I figured new words, stuff like that. You went viral a few times. Because word of mouth, literally.
Yeah.
And I came across a TikTok.
Okay.
Of poetry. You were just spitting. I don't know if you were on a I don't know if it was a poetry or you was on a podcast. But probably sitting the sit down. And I'm like, who is he? Like how does his mind wire like this when it comes down to women into relationships and stuff like that? But that's just a fraction of the stuff that, you do. You do more than that. And you want to let people know that you do more than just coming on stage and, speaking your words. So you're from the Bronx.
Yeah. Bronx all day.
Shout out.
Uptown North.
Shout out. Yeah. Shout out.
Right Tennis Road, Gun Road. That part.
So just, growing up, tell me how that was over there, and then transitioning to what you're doing.
Growing up in the Bronx is interesting, specifically for our area, because the Bronx is mostly known for the South Bronx and hip hop and a lot of the Latin culture. But in my area, it's like Little Jamaica. So everything up there is extremely Caribbean. So every time you say you're from the Bronx, they naturally associate you with the Hispanic culture. So I felt like we all kind of grew up with a chip on our shoulder to let people know that our part of the Bronx matters just as much as every other part. And we're literally the last train stop in New York City. So I feel like people tend to kind of like forget about us. And naturally, like with my art and as life went on, I've kind of we all embodied that feeling of like, we from the Bronx, we're Uptown Bronx. And it made me, when I came outside, I had to come to Brooklyn to do a lot of shows and expand my career. I always want to put on for where I'm from. So I say it gave me a chip on my shoulder, but it also gave me a perspective of understanding consistency, tapping in and making sure you got to dot all your I's and cross your T's, because you may not get a oblige because of where you're from.
Exactly.
So yeah, so that kind of.
And I love that you rep that to the fullest. I think that's very important to rep, where you're from and just around, because now we get into that, but you are traveling now, state to state.
God is good.
Right. The repping VX all day from that. So you did go to college for media communication and stuff like that. And shout out to Long Island, because that's where your girl is from. Hello. Yeah, LI in the building. When you got your degree, what did you want to pursue then? That was a different time. You had spaces in a different time.
Honestly, the best way to describe it is like, I had this line where it says, I found my soul for me, but I got that degree from my mother.
Ooh.
And to be honest, like my mom was more in a position where I'm first generation. She from Kingston, Watertown. Anybody knows Jamaica, that's a very, very dangerous place. So we're her wildest dreams. And my brother got a degree and my sister got a degree. So it was important for me to be the 3P. Like I wanted her to that was more in my mind of like, I want to do this so you felt like you accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. As time went on, as parents tend to do, they give us gems and plant seeds in seasons that we don't see the fruit in. That degree has now helped me to do poetry workshops with kids in schools. Right. It's allowed me to, right now I'm actually getting my master's, getting my MFA in creative writing. So it has allowed me to open up other doors that at that moment I didn't really care for. So I'd just say that's one of the prime examples of like listening to your mom when you didn't want to. She was right. So I give her the credit for that. And
I love that you've taken your degree and you're putting like two passions into it. You love teaching people things. I mean that's that's what you've been doing, and especially giving back to kids and teaching them the poetry workshops. How is that? How fulfilling is that teaching them?
Honestly, it's hilarious one because like the stuff that they write and they come up with is just like very interesting. But I love the fact that they haven't been assimilated to society yet. And it's difficult because the same teachers that I'm working with, I know they have a job to do to prepare them for these tests, but those tests also kind of get them aligned to. So I feel like when I come, it's like, I don't want y'all to be structured. I need your brain to just, I need you to be creative. You're too young to not have an imagination. So my biggest thing with them, and I tell them all the time, is like, I don't need you to write a poem. I need you to find a poem. Because you already have it in your mind.
Okay.
So I want them to find these playgrounds in their mind where so many things are happening. So I try to implement emotional intelligence with the writing, with like a space for them to feel free. So they can always write in their pen. So it's been beautiful. And the poems that like they've been coming up with inspiring me. Like I want to go home and write now.
Right.
Because they just, at first they're like, I don't want to do this. And now they're like, honestly, like they're writing poems on the back of their state tests. Like when I went to work the other day, they showed me, they was like, like on their free time, they're writing poems now. So that was really like a cool feeling of like, you know what, maybe I'm making an impact.
Yeah, maybe, yes, you are making.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know.
Yeah, but I think sometimes we think like, okay, am I making it? How much of it do I have to see that I know that I'm making it, especially to these kids? Sure. So for the fact that it's normal to question yourself, especially in this creative world.
You're not questioning yourself. I don't know what you're doing.
Right? No, for real. And what you're in. So I get that hesitant move. Like, am I doing enough? Am I doing too much, or am I doing this or not enough? So, but they live through those words that they're writing,
Not for sure.
which is amazing.
The motto of my company is like, sometimes you write words, and sometimes words write you. So that's the real, like, I just want to get to the essence of like, let's speak our souls and our emotions through this pen. Because energy never dies, only transfers.
There we go.
So when they're in these moments, I'm like, yo, if you're having a bad day, just write it down. Like express it and get it out one way or another. And it's helping them. And it's helping with the kids, like the less fights, less detention, like their minds are starting to wander now and just go deep into like writing in that space of thinking. So it's cool.
Has that ever transferred into you? So, in your adult years, when you're having a bad day or anything like that, do you go and write? Oh, how does that work with you? How does you have a bad day, and how do you deal with that?
When I have a bad day, I ain't gonna lie to you, like, I get real, just like, I just get mad at, like, I start processing, like, first I go, what did I do wrong? Right. Secondly, I'm going, like, how could I have avoided it? Then third, I'd be like, who got me effed up? Like, that's my natural process. Like, I start to decipher it. But my best friend has this thing where she says, like, do I say it now? How do I say it? And am I the person that's supposed to say it? So I constantly always think like, and even when I'm talking to myself, because my language with myself used to be bad. It should be like, oh, you messed up. Dang, you're an idiot. And I was like, yo, if you tell people talk to you nicely, you got to talk to yourself nicely too.
Yeah, you have to talk to yourself nicely.
So now I more shift my energy of like, all right, give grace, take a deep breath. What's really happening and what are you making it be ahead? Assess. And then I might write, or sometimes I'll just like be human, just watch something, go on Instagram, just chill. My writing process is weird. Like, you can ask my bro, like, we'll be in the middle of a whole party, chilling. I mean, full-blown bottles everywhere, people dancing. I'll just stop and just start writing. And everybody get around, man.
Oh, my God.
And they're like, what's wrong? He's writing. And people think I'll be texting or not. Like, a lot of times you see me in the corner, I'm not texting. I'm really just like.
Just sitting there writing.
Because later on, I can remember the experience, but I don't remember the feeling I had when I thought of it. So to me, the feeling is just as important as the words. So if I write it when I'm not in the feeling, I'm going to lose the essence of it. So I like to stop, or I'll do like a voice note, have it on my phone, just so I remember the energy of which I had.
Which you had in that moment. It's very important to fill that in to do that. That's what I've been, if I'm feeling something, I am going in my note. Well, there's like on the iPhones, especially iPhones, there's notes where you can lock them. And like,
you can lock the note?
Oh my God, you can lock the note. So I lock my notes. So I don't want anybody to see what I'm writing. And then I put like a picture to associate how I'm feeling at that time. That's real. Whether it's a screenshot, whether it's a picture of like the sky or anything like that, I put a picture because that's how I felt at that time. And I'm like writing novels. But something about novels and me writing, you also wrote a book as well.
Yes. I think 98 Cents is 4 years old now? I think I wrote it 2018, I believe it was, when I was thinking 4 years old. It's called 98 Cents because I don't care about the world's 2 cents. And the concept of the book, the slogan is, how much does your freedom cost? Because my entire life, especially being a young Black man, especially from the Bronx, everybody's had a narrative to tell me who I'm supposed to be, what I'm not supposed to be. And that's not just like to America. That's just even my people, my parents, my father, my friends. Like, you're supposed to be this for everybody, but who you supposed to be for yourself? So the poem consists of me like emancipating myself from people's perspectives and then developing enough sense to get to 98. And then once I get there, people's perspective of me don't bother me no more. to be actually, if I take my 98 with your 2 cents, I should get $1. So that's the whole concept of the whole.
I love that. That's a concept that you really had to sit down and like think about.
No, it's not that. I did. It was at first it's alignment, right? Because it's like the biggest thing we was talking about it, like you gotta get out your own way.
Right.
And every time I was a big Nipsey Hussle fan, like Eric Thomas, like I've always understood the self-help like aspect of it. And the biggest thing I see is that your biggest job in life is to get out your own way. Yeah. It's not even about like, because when your time is your time and your window's there, it'll feel so effortless that it'll just feel like, why was it so hard? Why was it so easy now and it was so hard before? So now I just try to learn to get out my own way. And in that, it's just being present, being balanced, and understanding like what is for you is for you. And if it's not, it's not, and that's okay. But what lesson do I need to learn in between? So when my time is here, I don't miss my window.
Right. Yes, I think that's the part where I think everybody needs to captivate is what's for you. You would not miss it. Even if bad things, good things, you would definitely not miss it. So you're on tour. You are
sold out dates.
I was trying to go to the New York show. So you went on tour with Kira and Maui. First off, I have my notification on for them because they be getting me through.
I like shout out to Sis, shout out to Kira, shout out to Maui. Like to me, that's yin and yang. Like it's kind of like if neither one of them got something for you, then you just gotta go back to the drawing board and reset because they always drop in the gym.
Yeah, and I brought their books and everything. So even to see like your name, you're the only guy on this tour. And technically, yeah. So just to see, how did that come about? Like, did they ring like I need you on this tour, or this like how did that?
So to be honest, like Kira is like my real life best friend.
She is.
And
love her.
Nah, she like shout out to Kira J. All right, so this all really started where Kira one day just said, "Yo, Maui's having a show in Brooklyn. I have never met her yet. Like, yo, she needs some New York poets." So I pulled up. Had a good job at that one. Then she said I'm having a show in Philly. Went to the show in Philly, did a good job there. And then long story short, that's why I always appreciate Maui, and I tell the story on stage too. It's like, I was about to go back to work. And she was like, yo, I'm about to start this tour, one of her first tours, the Chico tour.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago. And she's like, I'm gonna send you this mega bus ticket. If you wanna pull up. Yo, 3 days went by, she ain't hit me. Or 4 days go by, she ain't hit me. And I was like, I know I already been texting her. And I'm like, yo, I'm either calling my boss or I'm calling you. I called her. She's like, oh, you're not playing. You called me. Then she sent me the ticket. So ever since that day, I've been on the road. Now, the irony is that I just started hosting because a host didn't show up one day.
Right.
And I was like, I'll host. And then from that on, I just been the host because just my being charismatic, understand how to read a room.
Right.
So after that, it's been expanding. And we just went, like, I remember we doing like shows with 50 people in the room now. Remember we did LA during COVID, like it was 550, Inglewood, line around the corner, like celebrities want to pull up. So it's vibey. Right now we're doing City Winery. We sold out all 8 City Wineries 7 of them in the country. And it's been fun. It's been a good job. The wine has been messing me up. I gotta stop drinking wine backstage. Somehow I mess up, always get late.
Oh my gosh, she whining. Why would do that?
Wine be whining. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It stinks upon you.
I was a Henny guy my whole life, but not a wine.
What kind of wine do you drink?
I like the ghetto wine, so don't judge me.
Don't say teleport.
TP is not wine. That's purple Henny, okay? That is bad work, bro. That TP, hey, if you got a sponsorship for me, I'll drink it. But anyway, I like my Barefoot. I like my Shutter Homes. I like the Blue Bottle Moscato. I forgot, was it Batata, whatever that.
Oh, Barton.
Yeah, I like my ghetto wines. You feel me? That's it. I'm so Barefoot, you know what I'm saying? Women have judged me on my wine selection, but hey, that's my palate. You know, I like my Moscatos.
You like Moscatos. You don't do the red?
The red is heavy.
Red is heavy.
I ain't gonna lie to you, like, your red, that's a red light special. Like, that's for like TLC. Like, if I'm in a certain mood, I'm not.
Yeah. And
I had to learn, like, wine goes with certain type of food.
Yeah, like.
And I don't like reds. I don't like red sauces. So anything red is really not mine. Like.
Oh, so you don't. Yeah, I'm a Merlot type of girl.
I'm gonna act like I know what that means. I'm just not.
Oh, it's like it's a red wine. I like a pot thing. You like rosé?
Yeah.
You just like Moscato, like pink Moscatos, white
Like
Moscato.
What the rose with Mr. Henny with the rose? That's be good. That'd be good. Yeah. Like
That
like champagne wise.
that's
I'm really I'm sorry. Like I really like I just started getting into my wine bag now because
right.
when we get to these restaurants and stuff, you get on certain dates, you'd be like, dang, I gotta act like I got a good drink. And I started adopting the old fashioned because like that sounds sophisticated.
It does sound
So like you get older and you start be like, let me get the heady strain. You look at mature. Oh, yeah.
it out. And this came from doing shows at the City Winery.
Yeah. And also, and women, honestly, I wouldn't be here. There's so many amazing women that have touched my process and helped me understand and even just like give me a different perspective on life. Right. So there's moments where like, so one time I'll be getting my nails done. Now I don't want to do it, but it, like now when I be doing shows and I saw books, first thing women do, stay at your nails. I'm like, so you gotta pay attention. You gotta pay for So, but it's helped me understand self-care and a certain level of quality of life. So I appreciate it.
I'm glad. So sold out tour. You still is it still sold out or like the date? What's going on now with it?
Okay, so right now we actually added dates. We added St. Louis on May 11th, which is my birthday. So that's gonna be wild. We got like 4 more cities, but we actually working on a summertime one right now too. That might.
So this year, so this may be out.
So my son, we're gonna come back to New York. I got you on the list. I'll put you on this for sure. But not to speak too soon, but we might get a passport stamp on this one.
Okay, I love that. So where can we find you, Mr. Cito Blanko?
You can find me everywhere at Cito Blanko. That's CITO BLANKO. Second book is on the way.
Okay.
Look for the tour dates. Thank you for having me. It's been
Thank you for coming on Tea Talk.
no, for sure.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I was like, no, poet, writer, author, we gotta get him here. So I really appreciate you.
Got a couple comments there.
Yeah, I see that.